Welcome to How to Money with Cole and Cole.
I'm Cole.
And I'm Cole.
We coach people every day on their money and how to plan for the future.
As financial advisors, we're here to have an honest conversation on investing, retirement, and everything in between.
At Full Swing Financial Planning, we're here to empower you to take control of your plan, your way, for your financial future.
So let's talk money.
And sports.
Welcome back to How to Money with Cole and Cole. I'm your host, Bailey Ashbrook, and we have a special guest, and I love having guests. I really do. I love hearing their stories, but I love this guest because he's one of the kindest men. I know, and he's laughing, but I'm being serious. Mark Campbell, owner of Amigos Bar and Grill and Webster County Supervisor. How are you, Mark?
I'm good. Good morning.
He's so not nervous to be here.
Welcome to be here.
He's excited. I will be down at Amigos tonight.
Are you sucking up for free drinks or something, or what's going on?
I don't drink, Cole.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Volleyball. I get
free food.
It's fun.
Free
but
pizza.
The problem is some people just like to go for fun. And I like to go to win. And I get a little...
You're one of those people.
We've been getting our butts kicked the last couple
week,
weeks.
Emily looked at me. She's like, I can tell you're mad. I was like, don't talk to me. I'm just going to sit here and try my best.
Everybody's walking around drinking, having fun, and Bailey's stretching out over in the corner.
That is true. I do stretch because I'm
She's like, let's practice in between sets here, in between games or whatever it's called.
You don't know it. You've been signed up for volleyball camp.
Well, I will say this. It's pretty competitive. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't
it's
know.
fun.
That's my first year doing it, but we'll get more into Amigos. But football is here, boys.
Football is definitely here.
Week one, the NFL, we had Iowa State, barn
poor
burner
Luke.
there, yeah.
Oh, man.
50-plus yarder to win the game for the Cyclones. So in Kinnick.
He nailed that.
Yeah, the Cyclones can't win at home, but they can win at Kinnick, which is weird.
Which you would think would be so incredibly hard with that fan base and how loud it is and all the things.
I had a house full of Iowa fans. Basically, my dad was the only Iowa State fan that was there, and
Your dad went. He was
oh my
probably
gosh, he actually was in the house, which I'm thank God he was in the house because it was just like the air just got let out of the room.
It's so weird. I love sports. I love my teams. When they lose, though, I'm like mad for like 10 seconds, and then I'm like, okay,
Move on.
yeah.
Luke was only mad for like 10 seconds, right?
He literally, I was telling Cole Peterson this. He woke up. I said, well, he's like, what are we going to do today? I'm like, it's Sunday. You're going to watch the Cowboys. We're going to get stuff done. He's like, I'm not watching the Cowboys. I can't handle any more losses. I was like, you need to go to therapy, kid, because you should not be this affected by your sports teams. Anyways, sidebar. Should we do our picks? So last year, who won?
Oh,
You
come
won, of
on.
course.
You won
Yeah,
the
you won.
NFL. Okay, we
How
get
many times
it.
do we got to,
I just like to remember.
broken record?
It's a great little clip if you haven't watched it. But anyways, we're going to go around and pick who's going to win it all, right?
We're gonna pick
NFL.
the AFC and the NFC title game
Yep.
teams, and then the Super Bowl champion.
So that's whoever gets it. Yeah, the two Super Bowl.
I'll go last
teams.
since I was the winner, so you guys can't.
Are
pick
we
the same
doing
as
the
me.
same bet? The jersey.
I don't know.
We're gonna run out of jerseys, and Cole and I can't. We're getting
We'll have to have them flash that photo back up where you guys
to
are in
be
my
determined
jerseys.
what the bet is.
Yes,
Okay,
to be determined.
Yep.
Bragging rights is enough for me.
Maybe it's like a dunk tank or something.
Oh yeah, we'll think of something clever.
And Mark's gonna make some celebrity picks, right?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
All right, Cole Peterson, we'll go with you first.
All right. So I have
Oh, he's going to his phone.
I have the Ravens against the Chiefs in the AFC title game.
Chiefs.
And
We got to pick who's going to be in the title game.
That's a lot of picks.
Yeah, just pick
Let's
who's
just
gonna
do the
win.
Super Bowl picks.
I was going to say who wins AFC, NFC, Super Bowl.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Sorry,
we want to go
that's-
back.
Well, that
and
would
do
be
them.
the Super Bowl picks.
That's, I mean, it's a lot of teams. We're each
Okay.
making a bunch of.
Let's
picks
do
and
Super Bowl
Let's just
picks.
do who's in the Super Bowl and do the
Yeah.
champion.
I hadn't made that decision yet.
Okay, well now, Cole J,
You
go
want to talk
first.
to it? All right, so I'm gonna pick. I'm just gonna go 49ers, and I'm gonna go on a whim. I know the Chiefs are the number one in the power
You don't have
rankings
to
right now.
explain yourself.
I'm gonna go with the Texans. I think CJ Stroud's gonna have an awesome year too. And one, if those teams, if the Chiefs don't get in, I'm probably gonna win. So about 49ers are my champion. Brock Purdy.
I like the Texans a lot. I'm going to go with the Ravens. I'm going to pick against
What
the
are you
Chiefs.
looking at over there?
I'm just looking at the teams. As I hadn't made the decision. I was going to kind of make the decision on the go.
You're gonna talk yourself through it.
I'm going Ravens, 49ers, with the 49ers winning it this year.
Oh.
Interesting.
I'm going to go the Niners and the Chiefs, and I am telling you a three-peat. What did we say? Only one other team has done it?
The Packers have three-peated, but it was in the
prior
prior NFL
to-
merger stuff. So technically no
Chiefs.
three-peats in the Super Bowl era.
The Chiefs, one and all, led by your very own Patrick Mahomes. I'm telling you, he just wins games.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
I'm sticking with Bailey.
Yeah, see, smart guess.
Yeah. Well, she won last year. That's a good bet.
That's chalk, and you would have been good doing that last year and in the NCAA tournament. So I sure probably went that way, but I didn't.
I know we get Raz Cole on the Cubs talk, but hey, Cubs are trending up. They're they're getting closer to the wild card, right?
Yeah,
so,
they're 5 games out of the wild card, and there's only like 17 games left or so.
There's a chance.
Yeah, they got to go like 15-2. I mean it.
I don't watch baseball.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
Okay, we'll pass that then.
Last news: Indiana Fever playoffs. Let's go. Caitlin
Yes.
Clark just dominating.
The boy, they really turned their season around about 7 games into the season, and now they're on a roll.
It's great.
I was watching the game last night, and Darius Rucker's in the stands, and he's a humongous Caitlin Clark fan.
Everyone is.
Like he's like flown all over to watch her play, just to watch her. So
the fan base is incredible.
Yeah, it's
and
cool.
like Wilson last night, she's on pace to score 1,000 points this season. That's insane.
Well, she broke the single season record last
Yes,
night.
but she's on pace like 40 points away. She's
Asia. Is it Asia? Is that how you say it?
Asia.
When do the playoffs start for them?
Just September 22nd.
Okay,
so it's coming right up.
There we go. So maybe next podcast we can do. I don't know anything other than Caitlin Clark.
We'll let you Google a little bit.
Yeah, they're not going to win the playoffs.
Yeah, with you.
All right, enough of that. Let's get into Mark because we want to hear about Mark's story.
Yes, we do.
Mark, I've known Mark for about 8 years. I actually used to sell a product with his wife. She still sells it. They both crush it. They're both entrepreneurs. They're both just amazing people, and they do a lot for the community. But Mark, tell us how you became the owner of Amigos, and how did you get into the service industry?
Oh, God, that's a funny story. So I actually started in the service industry years and years ago here in Fort Dodge, a little restaurant bar up the street called Gramps.
Never heard of it.
Yep. I'm going to guess a lot of you haven't heard of it. Gary Grote owned it. So
we're like, nope.
Yep.
I know who Gary Grote is, but I never heard of the restaurant.
So started there, and then just from there went to a pizza place here in town called Piccadilly Circus Pizza.
Also unknown here.
Oh my gosh, that is before your time.
Yeah, see, you told
Cole knew that one.
That's what Harvest Baptist Church is at right now.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I am the oldest in the room.
Yeah, we're just getting a little history here.
I had my 5 or 6 year old birthday party at Piccadilly's, and it was kind of right around that time when it burned down.
Oh, really?
Oh, it burned down.
Well, it didn't burn down, I guess it should. It had a fire.
Kitchen fire.
Yeah.
Sure it did.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
And it closed after the fire, right? If I remember right.
Boy, I don't remember that far. I don't know. It was open.
You
for
were
a little
5.
while.
This is a long time ago.
Yeah. But they had, it was like, it was kind of like Chuck E. Cheese's a little bit. They had the animals would go around and they would deliver your food, and then they had video games.
You're having a
and stuff.
moment right now.
Yeah, it was cool. It was fun. I still have the pictures.
Okay.
That's scary because I was the voice of the robot.
Oh, were you?
Well, you guys are reminiscing here.
Yeah, we have nothing.
I was the voice.
I did not know that.
It is Throwback Thursday, I guess.
That's funny.
Those photos.
Yep. So then from there, obviously, went to school, graduated UNI, and the people I worked for over there owned a Diamond Dave's franchise in Cedar Falls in Elgin, Illinois. And
I had my 21st birthday.
Oh my
God, you guys are crossing paths everywhere.
You guys can
Diamond
just go.
Dave's in Cedar Falls. That's where I had my 21st birthday party.
How drunk were you? We'll go on.
Yeah. So the owners of that one were selling their they were selling their Elgin store, and a friend of mine and I went together with some money we had left over from student loans and bought it on contract, and that's where we started.
Oh, wow.
A few years into that, we came back and did Fort Dodge Diamond Dave's. And then a friend of mine I've known for years, Joe Pede, Heartland Communications, him, his son, Gail McKinney, and I did Blimpies.
Wow,
Okay.
I did not know all
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Blimpies was on First Avenue South.
Yep.
And then, fun fact, a lot of people don't know, it's actually Joe bought Amigos.
Oh, I did not know
And
that.
he bought that, the silo, and some other land down there. And when he was getting ready to do that, he's like, hey, would you run it until I figure out what I'm going to do with it? I'm like, no, I'm swamped. I'm we can't do this. And he's like, well, let's talk about it. A couple of weeks later, he's like, hey, I'm closing on that on Friday. Can you go ahead and, run that for a while? And we drew up an agreement, and a few months into it, I'm like, I kind of like this place.
Oh, really?
It had no patio, a couple little windows in it, and ended up buying it from him on contract too.
Wow, and now it's been all yours. So tell people, if you don't know, we know what Amigos is. What is it? Like restaurant, bar? Tell them all about it.
It's more of a neighborhood gathering place. Like tonight, volleyball. I mean, we'll have 22 teams play volleyball, but we actually have more people just show up to walk around and watch that than actually participate. I mean, we know they all come to watch Bailey play, but
Right. Or stretch out.
Yeah. I mean, we have A League, which obviously is the competitive league, and we know who is in that. And then we have B League, which is the fun league that's just having a good time there. You know, we say one is, you know, volleyball and maybe have a beer or two, and the other one is beer and we hope we play volleyball.
You hope you get over that.
Yeah. So, no, it's just kind of a neighborhood.
You guys do a lot of live music. Like
We do.
It's great. And it's right by the river. It's great views. Got the lights.
Good atmosphere.
Yeah, it really is.
If you've never been to Amigos in Fort Dodge, I think it's the coolest setting
Thank you.
for any sort of establishment in Fort Dodge because it's right on the river. You can
Yes.
sit on the deck.
Mm-hmm.
You can watch the river. You can listen to that. You can play volleyball if you want to.
You must have the
pizza's
buffalo
great.
chicken pizza.
Pizza's great.
Yeah, and I think the beer is cold there, so but I've never had one.
Beer and pizza.
You guys do catering too.
We do. We do quite a bit of catering now with Larimar and Sadie up there. It's a lot of fun. So.
Yeah. So you've been in the service industry for a long time. Like, what would you tell someone thinking about maybe becoming a business owner or getting into that industry? Because I feel like the service industry, food would be
Very difficult.
yes. I feel like
that's
it's one of the most
yep.
challenging. Like keep people happy, keep things stocked. I don't know. It's just a lot of moving parts.
You're
to me.
serving others all
Yeah,
the
that's
time.
right. Yeah.
It can be brutal, but I've watched some of your podcasts and seen some of your prior guests. And when I have to go up against the Abbeys of the world, McCready and Jackie Hint, I mean, come on now. You've got amazing people setting the bar there. But the service industry is just about that service. You're building a relationship with customers. You're finding out what the need of the neighborhood is or the community is. And you try to fill that gap. And really, it's just a day at a time. You know, I mean, we're fortunate. We have a group of regulars that come in. We tell everybody we have more customers that have keys to that place than employees. Because if we're not there to open at 7 a.m, somebody will open. So
I didn't even realize it opened at 7 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
Breakfast.
I know they have
breakfast
that.
on Saturdays.
Yep.
Yes.
So are you open 7 days a week?
Yes.
And 7 a.m. to 2 a.m. Is that
Monday through Saturday. Sundays is noon to midnight.
okay?
Yep.
Okay.
I
Nice.
feel like I'm
I have not been there at 7 a.m., but
Really?
we could do that.
A lot of
sometime
coffee.
for an Iowa State game,
Coffee,
or for an
drinkers.
Iowa game, or something like
The
that.
breakfast, the crew, you know, like some of the golfer crew goes out there and plays.
Iowa Central
you know,
golf outing this weekend. We'll have a good group coming in for that.
Yeah, golf outings, all that kind of stuff. And they have tournaments. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about that, that makes sense. So, okay, what would you say your biggest lesson you've learned, or like an experience that you can share about Amigos that if you could tell someone like
That you can
a
share,
chair-
Mark. This is
I'm sure
this is a
there's a lot of-
family-friendly
I'm
podcast.
sure there's a lot of challenges at Amigos.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is, twofold. One, don't reinvent the wheel. I mean, obviously somebody's been through whatever you're going through, and reach out and surround yourself with amazing people. We have a great community of bar owners and restaurant owners here in the community, and we do all talk and help each other. If somebody needs something and I've got it, I'll get it to them. If they, I need something, I know who I can call. Don't try to do it by yourself, and don't think you're unique in your challenges because somebody before you has gone through it. So
I love that.
This is just a curiosity question. Here, we're going to talk about your public life too, with being a
Yay.
supervisor. But I'm curious, as you're very visual at Amigos, and those two worlds conflict sometimes. Of like, people can, there's a lot of people in Fort Dodge that socialize there, come up to you, talk about maybe how that maybe is there some conflict ever there, or where you're very accessible, I would say when you're
People
at
know
Amigos.
who you are,
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah, people will come down and want to talk county business, or most recently they want to come down and talk gaming and just have conversation. I mean, we've had people drive from all over the state to come and ask questions related to one of my positions. And I'll talk as much as I can. But if it's a busy night, I'm there to work. It is a job. I enjoy Amigos, but it's a job. I schedule myself just like we schedule employees. So, yeah. I mean, you do the best you can with this in the situation you're in. So, yeah.
For those of you who didn't pick that up in the beginning, Mark is our Webster County Supervisor. So I could see people being down there having a few drinks and just really prying at you on a couple topics. Like that would be a hard balance.
Yeah. You hold.
I actually got a few. No, I'm just
That's
kidding.
all right.
Yeah, we got a few questions.
I like it. I love
I'm
being
just
challenged.
But you're the head position, the Webster County. Explain how the Webster County Supervisors is compiled and what role you hold there.
Yep. So we are a board of 5, and I was up until 2 years ago. We plan to transition for new chair. So we have a chair and a vice chair, then the other 3 of us. And for 6 years, I was chair, and then we started working into a transition plan where Nikki Conrad is now chair, and then Nick Carlson is vice chair. And it takes a few years to get comfortable in that position. It is a lot of work. You sign all the claims. You meet with everybody that comes in unless they have a specific question. And each supervisor kind of has their special niche. So.
How did you get going in that? Like what? Like I'm just thinking,
what
how did you go?
prompted
Yeah,
that?
from being in the bar industry, food industry, and then you're like, okay, now I'm going to do this.
So my dad and my family always has been part of giving back and being, part of the community. My father was union president for Hormel when it was here, and then also city council member.
That's how you just want to follow in Dad's footsteps.
Yep. Yeah, I'm still that little kid that idolizes his dad.
All right, Mark. So another hat you wear is you're part of or you sit on the gaming commission board, right? Or
Racing,
you
yep.
can
Iowa
talk
Racing
about
and
that.
Gaming Commission. Yep. So, we all want to challenge ourselves a little bit in life. So I actually am one of the few people that went online to the IowaTalentBank.com and applied for some commission positions, and racing and gaming was one of them. Didn't hear back for about a year, then did get a phone call from somebody saying, hey, we're calling to see if you want to update your application with the governor's office. And I'm like, who is this?
What
are you talking
application?
about?
Yeah. So I literally hung up thinking it was a joke, because I hadn't heard anything in a year, and they called right back. I'm like, oh, I goofed up. So I updated my information, went through the interview process with staff, then the governor makes a nomination, and then you go in front of the Senate for a confirmation hearing where they just ask questions. And
See, you can talk. You talk. You get interviewed by them. This is just podcast.
So what is that? What does that give us
Yes.
an idea what that role looks like, or what do you do?
so surprisingly, Iowa's the 15th largest gaming state in the country.
That doesn't
Wow.
surprise me.
Yeah. So we have 19 state licensed casinos, 4 tribal casinos. Currently, we are accepting applications for a possibility of another casino.
Where at, Mark?
That would be in Lynn County.
So there could be a casino in Lynn County.
They've
You know,
tried many times.
Yeah.
over
They
the-
have.
yeah,
They
many times.
have. And our commission as a group has come to the conclusion that the community over there voted to apply for one, and we want to go through that process. So we think we owe that to them. Incredibly difficult process. I've never been through it myself, but looking at the past commissions and what they've done, it's a huge challenge. Deadline for applications are Monday. We currently have one in. After they come in, the non-confidential information will be available about a week after that on the websites.
And so we haven't had a casino built in Iowa for a while.
It's been quite a while.
It's been quite a while. Yeah. And I know there was one rumored to be in Fort Dodge at one time.
on the
The
river.
one that went to Jefferson.
The one
right?
that went to Jefferson, I believe. Yes. Yep. So I'm sure that you were around during that time.
Was that the last one built?
The Jefferson one?
Probably. Or has there
pretty
been?
close. No, I was
because
gonna
that's
say
been 10 years ago.
Riverside was like 2001 or 2003.
Yeah, it had to be Jefferson then.
Emmitsburg, or Esterville, whatever.
Emmitsburg.
Emmitsburg. There's a Wild Rose up there.
You
but
guys
yeah.
do know all
Anyway.
the casinos.
Well,
Yeah, so I was going to
kidding.
say
That was
when you
just a
said
jab.
we're the 15th largest casino, the state, and I was going to be like, yeah, me and Cole probably fund about half of that.
Listen. We got to stick to budget too.
Yep.
Guys, finance podcast. But I bet that's a hard board to sit on because I'm sure there's a ton of opinions. on that matter.
It's incredible. We have an incredible commission to work with, and when you look at what the gaming industry does for Iowa, a lot of people forget about the horse side of it. So currently, we are doing a horse racing study with in conjunction with Prairie Meadows, which Prairie Meadows is a racino, meaning that they have to have racing to have their casino license.
Interesting.
And they are the single largest casino in the state. And surprisingly enough, a lot of people don't realize they give away $1 million a week.
They are very, very involved in the community.
Gary Palmer.
$1 million a week.
Yes.
Did you say a week?
A week.
I was amazed. I was amazed when I lived in Jefferson for a period of time. So with the, and again, I don't know any of the terminology, but I know the profit sharing or the amount of revenue that had to be given back to the, and it was amazing on an annual basis because they had to develop a board there for that to accept the money, and then that board divvies out to the surrounding counties. But how big of an economic impact that has, a casino has to the area, not only is the money being spent for people coming into town, but the revenue sharing or the profit sharing that they have to then give back.
It's a huge impact.
Iowa's unique that the casino never holds the license. They have to partner with a nonprofit, like you just said.
Oh, that's why that is. So
yes, the nonprofit holds the license, and a certain amount is guaranteed to go to them. And then yes, they give so much to that community, and then non-contiguous counties and contiguous counties around.
Because I know Webster County. I mean, it's
Wow.
not Webster County, but they get some dollars
We get
allocated. a little
from
bit.
Emmitsburg and from Jefferson goes to the United Way. They disperse those dollars. Uniquely, we're using those dollars to hire a police officer.
I was just going to ask, what did they use the dollars for?
They can use it for just about anything. This year, our sheriff met with Randy Coleman from United Way, and we're going to leverage the county receives settlement dollars for the opioid settlement. and we're going to leverage our dollars. And Randy Kuhlman's using, I think, his Safe Communities and some gambling dollars to match that. And we're going to hire a detective in the sheriff's department that will do specifically opioid related activities. So
wow,
that's great.
So cool.
Very impactful.
This podcast is produced by Spin Market and Digital. Located in Fort Dodge, Iowa, Spin Market's highly skilled team can help you increase your market by updating your website, improving SEO, designing advertisements, and producing podcasts that will grab the attention of your market. Contact Spin Market today for all your digital marketing needs at digitalagent@spinmarket.com or call us at 515-302-8026. And to learn more, visit our website at www.spinmarket.com. That's digitalagent@spinmarket.com or 515-302-8026. Or visit our website at www.spinmarket.com.
Let's do a little dollars and cents.
Dollar bills, y'all.
All right, coming off the the election or the
debate,
the debate news. That's all you can see online, TV.
No
We're not
comment.
going to comment on that debate, but I do have we had a wholesaler that shared a piece. And we always get clients asking, whether Republican or Democrat, what's Donald Trump going to do to the market, or what's Kamala Harris?
Or they're just like, this is going to be ruined with all my money. Money's going all bye-bye if blah, blah wins.
And I got a marketing piece for those watching on video can see, but in my hand, it talks about the last 24 presidential election cycles. And I'm just going to give a few, Bailey calls me the stat nerd. It's quite interesting to see and what this is. It's a breakdown of what the market looks like the year of the election and then the year after the election, whether Republican was elected or Democrat elected. And it's actually kind of different than what I thought, but I'm going to run through it. So, and this is given the last 24, presidential cycles. So average rate of return of the stock market for the year when a Republican is elected, it's 11.2%. For the same period or same thing for a Democrat elected, it's 4.3%. So
During the election year?
Yep,
Yes.
for the election year.
Like
for an
right now.
average over this period of time, which is 24 election cycles, or you can do the math there. The average between the two is 7.5%. So that's what the market does historically, running up into an election year. The year following the election, this is quite to the contrary of what I would have guessed. Republicans, the average return if a Republican is elected, that following year is negative 0.8% down on average. For a Democrat elected, it's 12.9%.
Positive. So
Yep.
the Republican elected, so if Trump is elected next year, it's minus 0.8.
That's the average. Yep.
Average.
If you take, and I don't know,
I'm holding you to this.
It's pretty close. It's pretty close of the amount. It's almost 50-50 for when you look at the numbers of Republican, Democrat on there. But the average rate of return the year following, if you take all those years, was 6.6%. So you never know. You're going to either make a little more money this year, not as much next year, or
Just don't panic.
make not as much this year, make more next year. It all balances out in the
long
wrong
haul, though.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's again as like there's no great math behind it. And I would say, we're in maybe a little more of a conservative area. So a lot of people do feel like, hey, automatically if a Republican's elected, the market's going to do better, or, it not always the case. So,
No.
and I think the math says, and that's why we always tell like, don't make your market decisions based on politics.
Or one person.
Yep, or one
Focus
individual.
on your stuff
Yep.
and your long plan.
Yep.
The
So
long
that's
plan,
my,
guys.
that's our dollars and cents for the day.
Getting political with Mark here. I like it.
Mark, I want to go back to Amigos, and I know you guys are involved in the community a ton, and you guys do a lot for the Fort Dodge community. Can you go through a little bit about what you guys are involved in, and what gives you the most satisfaction also with helping out with the community?
Oh, God, we have a ton of fun. I mean, this weekend's a great example. On Saturday with the Iowa Central golf outing. And then Sunday we have a fundraiser for a community, or for a family that's raising money for a van for their child. Tuesday night's trivia night. We give away $300 cash every Tuesday night. They come in, play trivia. You have to play for a nonprofit. And then we write the check at the end of the night, and it's fun to see the organizations that we're able to fund that way.
I did
that's
not know
sweet.
that.
I didn't know that.
Great
Yeah,
We've been
Tuesdays,
doing
that's
that
cool.
it's pretty fun. The Almost Home has a team there almost every week. Iowa Central rugby team has been coming faithfully. Nelly does not miss a Tuesday.
I bet he doesn't.
Lazy J Ranch up north of Humboldt. They're an animal sanctuary rescue. Also, they're there every week, and it's just a ton of fun. And that way, it's not us picking and choosing where those dollars are going. It's actually a community coming in saying, hey, we're going to sit here and have a good time with our coworkers. Maybe we need to get you guys down there. And
Yeah, I was going to say, what kind of trivia are we talking about?
Challenge. It's an app-based game up on our screens. Everything from music to sports.
Any finance questions in there?
There could be.
We
We don't control it, but it's a ton of fun, and you guys can challenge some other businesses and come down and raise money for the nonprofit.
awesome.
That'd be a good team night.
Sounds like a lot better than volleyball for me.
A lot better than
Trivia
bowling
night.
league.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Call guys in a bowling league. That's another story.
Another
day.
story for another day.
Yeah. So what's new? Like what's coming up for Amigos? Are there any project plans or what's been recently happening at Amigos? Besides, you guys didn't get run out by the river.
We didn't. And I mean, absolutely incredible the number of people that came down. I mean, we had over 100 people come down, help sandbag when they said what the water was going to come up to.
Were you nervous?
We had somebody come down on McClure Engineering, and some other engineers came down and said, hey, it's going to be inside. So, we sandbagged, and then the group was still there. Leaf Glesney from Midwest Fence brought some equipment down. We prepared over 2,000 other bags for the community to come and get. And we had people show up that we haven't seen in years just
That's
to
awesome.
help out. And
More
then,
than the regulars.
oh my gosh, yeah. And people bringing food and, high school students coming down. And, we had one young lady, and it took us a while to figure out who she was. Her mom literally dropped her off at the silo. She walked across the street and spent all day with us there. And we found out later she was a junior in the high school, and she just wanted to come and help.
Oh,
And we had so much fun. And it sounds weird to say we had fun doing that, but
as you're probably extremely stressed out.
and then once we realized the water wasn't going to come up to the level, we were able to reach out to Ben Lutz up in Humboldt because they had put something out on social media that, hey, we need all the help we can with volunteers. And I said, well, if you want to send a truck down, we'll load it up with bags. So we gave them about 2,000 sandbags from around ours. And then the next day we got a picture from a family, and it showed all the sandbags holding the water back from their house.
It's always amazing what people can do when you work together, right?
Yep.
I mean, we have an incredible community.
Power of camaraderie.
Yeah.
It is. And it's, again, the people you surround yourself with.
Yep.
So, Mark, let's talk about you as the Webster County Supervisor. You've been doing it for a while, right?
I have. This is my third term.
Are you excited?
Yeah, we have a ton of fun. We've got a great group of people, and that's another place that a great team has been put together.
Maybe tell the listeners, what's your role? Like, what do you do?
Or what do the supervisors do?
Yeah.
Do you have what the team does?
So the Board of Supervisors in Webster County is a board of 5. Some counties do have a board of 3. We are still a board of 5, and you basically work with all the departments. So we have 6 elected offices, 10 departments in the county. And a lot of people don't realize that, once a year we sit down and work and put together 16 budgets. Woo. And we have some incredible elected officials that come in and literally can have their budget broke down to 4 boxes of staples. And I mean, it's so impressive, and people don't realize the amount of work that goes into it. What we have uniquely here is we have a group of elected officials that realize we work for you. And I think sometimes elected officials forget that. We are utilizing your hard-earned tax dollars to figure out a way to improve our roads, improve the quality of life, which I think you guys have seen some of our projects that we've done lately in conjunction with Matt Cosgrove. Mm-hmm. We have the Matt Cosgrove River's Edge.
It's really nice.
It's really, really cool.
Beautiful. We're putting trails in Gowrie and Dayton. And again, these smaller communities have the exact same challenges we do, but their tax base and their ability to do them is so much smaller than what we have here. So we're working together with all of the communities around us. We're connecting our trails to Badger. And now we're working with Humboldt to hopefully within 2 years connect to the Three Rivers Trail up there, which would add over 30 more miles of trails.
The bike trails are amazing here in Fort Dodge.
They are. And, it goes to the winery, then to Badger. Mm-hmm. So there's the small segments are starting to be connected.
Bike trails to the winery. That's solid.
Yeah, that's
quality of life projects.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, people want to do and enjoy and like feel safe and like have stuff to do. Like that's just a very important thing, I think. So what would you say is the most important project or thing you've been during all your terms? Like your favorite one?
I don't know if it's my favorite, but I think it's the one that's had the most impact. Is a few years back, Representative Meyer and I were able to work together, and she crafted some language her first year to change our mental health regions that we're in. And that triggered a bigger change we left our current region, went to CICS, which is the one we're in now, and we now have mental health services we've never had before.
Yeah,
and it is so
awesome.
nice to see. We know there's a ways to go yet, but Representative Meyer and all of our elected officials around here, we've got an incredible working relationship, and they're planners. They're people that aren't just trying to say, all right, what's the Band-Aid today? We have people in place that are truly trying to figure out a way to make it better long-term and sustainably.
What are some of the top priorities moving forward or looking forward for the group of supervisors that you guys are focusing on right now?
So as some of you heard yesterday, we announced a project. CJ Bio is bringing in a company, and we call them OTF, over the fence companies, called Amigos. And we want to continue figuring out a way to utilize our biggest asset here, which is corn and beans, and how to utilize them over and over and over. So we're also working with a company that hopefully will relocate here, a Stover company, which is corn stalks. And it helps us help our farmers, or rural Webster County, have more value added to all their products.
That's exciting.
It is exciting. I mean, it sounds weird. I know people kind of geek out on this stuff, but when you realize what you can do with a kernel of corn, it's incredible.
It is amazing.
There's
how many
over-
different things you do.
There's if you go to the grocery store, I just heard this the other day, there's over 2,000 products that are in your local grocery store that have some type of input from corn. Comes from
It's
corn.
incredible. I mean, CJ Bio, their fermentation process is so unique and so incredible that this company has sought them out from California, and they want to relocate here and figure out a way to make a bio-based chemical cleaners, things like that.
Amazing.
Mark's like, corn is powerful, guys.
It is very powerful.
So, you serve a lot of roles. You guys are a business owner. I mean, being a part of the board is very, I'm sure, like public eye. It's very challenging. Like, what do you enjoy most about being a supervisor? Putting you on
I
the
know
spot.
this is going to sound weird, but
No.
sometimes it's realizing that what I did was wrong. And,
I love that.
it is because, the next day, and I heard this said, and I'm sure we've repeated it from I'm less wrong. Mm-hmm. I love learning from other people, and I love having tough conversations with people, not confrontational conversations. We might not agree on something, but it is so cool if we can agree to disagree and come together and figure something out.
We need more of that, right?
Yeah,
We
I was
need
just
more of
going to
that,
say, I
and-
feel like
yep.
more and more people disagree and they feel like they can't talk about stuff. Obviously, politics comes to mind right now. Like the debate, you can't even talk about it if you
Right.
disagree, which I'm like, no, I want to sit with someone who's going to challenge me and
Oh, I love that.
not argue, but challenge me, like educate me on why you believe or think what you do. And that's how we all learn and grow. And come
I
together.
love having tough conversations with people because I do learn from them.
Yeah.
And we can agree to disagree and still get a lot of good things done.
Yeah.
There's some in Fort Dodge too. The biggest thing I think is you guys all work together.
Yeah.
Unlike other communities, because I've heard this from people that have come from other communities, or
We have a wide spectrum of different political parties, involved in the
absolutely.
local government.
Yeah,
So-
but even the city council and the county supervisors, we don't realize this in Fort Dodge, but they do not work together in other parts, even of just the state, where our supervisors and our city council work together and they really intertwine. When they want to get something done, they do it together, and it is pretty amazing. We're awful lucky here in Fort Dodge.
So the city and the county meet every other week. We get together, and it's basically an informal meeting. It's 2 supervisors, 2 city council, the mayor, and David Ferrick, city manager. We all come together at the Growth Alliance. Some meetings, it's just a roast of each other. But we sit down and look at the challenges. And like you said, a lot of the counties around the state don't do that. And we do work together. The county is excited to assist the city with a project that they're doing with Nestle Purina. So we're going to use some of our TIF, which is tax increment financing, and we're going to utilize some of that to help fill a gap with the Nestle Purina project.
It's like a nice partnership. Like if they
It
need
is.
money,
And
vice
we
versa.
should. We're doing the same thing with Dayton. City of Dayton was awarded a grant for their events center. They were able to use our trail funds as a matching grant. So,
Oh, wow. You're just in the know. I bet you know so much going on
No.
that we do not know. But you are coming up for re-election.
I am.
And we don't talk politics, but you can tell people why they should vote for you. Like why? And I know this would be your third time serving. Wait, how many times?
This would be my 4th term.
fourth. I
Yeah.
was one short.
Are you guys
that's okay.
2-year terms?
4.
4-year terms.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You spend a lot of
Yeah, it's
time.
been
So
12
your
years.
experience, number one, vote for me for experience.
Thank you. I appreciate that. No, we've got a lot of good things going on. And when you look at the relationships, like you said, with the other counties and the communities and what our board has done, when you look at the city of Fort Dodge and the county and look at the number of people on state boards and regional boards, a big part of that is surrounding us, like I said earlier, with good people. And we've got good people working together, and we need to keep that going on. Our growth at the Ag Park represents the rural part of Webster County, which there is nothing more important than that foundation in Webster County. When you look at the pipelines coming in, and those are hot topics, but you still have to have that conversation. We had somebody come in on Tuesday that was very upset about eminent domain, and nobody supports the abuse of eminent domain. But we had a good conversation. By the end, I think we agreed on everything. So I think the reason I want people to get out and continue to support me and vote for me is we have come a long way in the last 10 to 12 years. I have a huge mentor that was on the board, retired a couple of years, Keith Dinklaw, who set an example of sitting down and talking. Because when we stop talking, nothing's going to get done.
Problem, what do they always say? A problem that people won't talk about is just a problem amplified.
It is.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. So we have a lot of projects going on, and obviously we have a lot of potential coming, and I hope people get out and realize that the current board that's there has done that, and we've done a great job, and we're going to keep representing the people of Webster County.
I love that. So you just want to build on what you've already been doing, right?
Yeah.
Consistency.
Yeah.
And I think that is another thing to say. And you kind of said that, but that is what I like about, having you run again, because we're going to be able to consistently improve the county, Fort Dodge as a whole, but also the whole county. You've brought up Dayton and Gowrie, and I think some people don't realize Webster County isn't just Fort Dodge.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other
probably,
communities out here that need more than just what the Fort Dodge City Council can do.
Correct.
I'm not putting them down, obviously, but they're worried about Fort Dodge. You're worried about the whole county, which the population is obviously. It's almost 100,000, isn't it?
For Webster County?
Webster County?
37.
Oh, wow. I was
What'd you
way
say?
off.
Fact check.
When you said that, I was like, did he just say 100?
Fact check. What?
So-
It's okay.
Our regional grasp is
Should
a
we
lot bigger.
cut that? No, I'm just kidding. Guys, keep that in. That's,
That's
great.
funny. Yeah, I thought it was like 100,000.
Mark goes, no.
No.
So
Yeah.
uniquely, and we love working with the Gowries and the Daytons of the world. I mean, Gowrie has a
Gowrie.
Yeah,
So good.
they have a housing project going on. Origin Homes is
Yep.
selected Gowrie, Iowa to come in, and which is a Hubble company, and build spec houses. Before they broke ground, one sold. And what people don't realize, 5 new houses in Gowrie could be anywhere from 10 to 15 new students in the school. So that's the part of this growth that is so cool. And I know, as much as we sometimes say all the funds go to Des Moines, and sometimes some of our small towns say all the money's going to Fort Dodge. Fort Dodge needs the Gowries, the Daytons, and the Badgers of the world as much as they need Fort Dodge. Because not everybody coming to Fort Dodge to work or around Fort Dodge to work wants to live in Fort Dodge. They want a rural setting or a smaller school. And when you look at what we have around here for our education, between Brian Johnson down in Prairie Valley, it's the largest school district, I think. And now that they've merged with, their last...
Southeast Webster.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, Cole J, you got to know this.
Yeah, they're I know there's kids that travel basically across the county to go, from almost Rockwell
Yes.
City all the way over to, Dayton area so it's very, very large.
And when you look at what we have here in Webster County, because I know you had Jesse Ulrich on, I mean, our education in this area is phenomenal. Our training in this area is phenomenal. Our school system continues to improve every single year. And these are all things that come out of everybody working together, whether it's city councils and the board of supervisors or the school boards working together. So it does come down to consistency. It also comes down to just seeing a little bit of growth every single time. You're not always going to have a win. We know that. But that's okay, because sometimes not winning is learning a lesson. And as long as you can continue to do that, we're going to get better together.
There's no failing. It's just learning. It's just
It is.
evolving.
I mean, you can ponder
Fail
on
forward,
it.
right?
Yep. There you go.
So, Mark, you wear a lot of hats, and what I'm hearing for you is teamwork, hard work,
Yeah.
really hard communication at times. What else would be, if you could tell someone that wanted to be an entrepreneur, looking to get more involved, what would be your number one tip to be successful?
Oh, Lord.
I love putting people on the spot.
Yeah, she
you
does.
do. I mean, go with your gut and surround yourself with amazing people.
I love that. Awesome.
And as long as you have that support system, surround yourself with amazing people and go with your gut. And I liked your fail forward.
Yeah.
Well said, Mark.
And have an awesome
Thank you
wife
for being
like
on.
Chrissy Campbell.
I do have it. Yeah.
Thank you for your,
Yes.
You need her on here.
Yeah, I know.
your public service,
Thank you.
being, you obviously chose to run. Obviously, the voters elected you, but you also made that decision and spent a lot of time, and you own a business, run a business, which pulls your time. So thank you for your service.
Thank you.
For sure. Make sure you follow Amigos on social media.
For all the fun events and things going on.
Get out and vote. I know we would like you to vote for Mark, obviously. But we don't talk politics on this.
Thank
we're
you.
just saying, with Mark being here, it would be weird if we asked you to vote for the other guy. But get out and vote. And
it's just important.
Just support our county, city. Get out and vote. I think that's a very powerful thing that a lot of people take for granted. A lot of countries don't have that option.
And I also don't think people realize how much they impact and what you guys all do and all the things that are involved in being a supervisor, all sorts of things. So we appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me come.
Yes. Also, before I let you go, Mark, thank you, because you are now also Iowa Central Hall of Fame outstanding alum.
Inductee already in the Hall of Fame.
Are you in or are you getting inducted?
I get inducted November 9th.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Go Tritons. So every experience, good or bad, you have to learn from. And I might have said this one, Patrick Mahomes, let's go. Next Super Bowl champions. Thank you.
Go Cubs.
You've been listening to How to Money with Cole and Cole, the podcast of Full Swing Financial Planning. To learn more, visit their website at www.fullswingfinancial.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
For now, I'm Cole.
I'm Bailey.
And I'm Cole.
And we'll see you on the greens.
4. Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA, SIPC.